All right, what's up everyone? Welcome to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel. Today is going to be our Facebook ads tutorial. So it's our Facebook advertising tutorial for 2019. I'm going to go over how to set up a campaign and then pretty much all the steps I take before setting up a campaign and after setting up a campaign. I'm going to go through every little detail of Facebook advertising when it comes to creating a campaign that drives conversions for your business. Now, we're going to have a separate video, basically a free Facebook advertising course. It's going to be a much longer video than this one where I go through every little bit and piece of Facebook advertising. This one is really going to be geared more towards beginners who are just trying to create their first campaign and want to drive some conversions for their business. So because there are so many advertising options in Facebook, it can be kind of difficult to explain every little detail that you can do. So with my tutorial, what I want to do is just give you the main details for how I set up campaigns, whether I'm setting up for clients, whether I'm setting them up for my own business, to drive conversions for my business. So to get started, in order to run Facebook advertising, you're going to need a page that you're going to be running advertising for. So I have 3 pages right here. I'm going to be running advertisements for Surfside PPC for this example. And you're also going to need an ad account. My favorite way to manage Facebook advertisements is through Business Manager. So all you need to do is go to business.facebook.com. They have a guide here for how to create your business manager. So you just go to business.facebook.com, click on create account, and then what you need to do is select the primary page for your business, enter your name and work email address, and then it says if you don't have a page yet for your business, you can create one right here. So you're going to need a page for your business in order to run advertisements. That's all you really need to get started is a page, and then you're going to need an ad account. So there's easy guides for how to create new ad accounts and how to create new pages. I will put this URL in the video description so you can easily follow these prompts for how to create a business manager. So since I have a business manager already, I'm not going to create a new one for this tutorial. It's a really simple process. Just go to business.facebook.com and follow the prompts. It's really easy to get set up. I did it in less than an hour. And then once you create your business manager, you can add a page to your business manager. So you just add your Facebook page to Business Manager. And then you can add ad accounts in Business Manager as well. You can either create them directly in Business Manager, or you can add some existing ad accounts to your Business Manager. So when I set up my own, I had to create new ad accounts for these pages. I already had existing pages, so I just connected them to my Business Manager. Again, it's a very simple process, so don't be kind of deterred from running your own Facebook advertisements. I would highly recommend just setting up Business Manager. And then every time I go to business.facebook.com, I see a page that looks just like this. So all I need to do is click on my ad account, and it's going to open Ads Manager that looks something like this. So here's my Ads Manager. I have my old campaigns running down here that I've ran in the past, and then I have my most recent campaign right here. So my Surfside PPC newsletter campaign. You can see in the last 14 days, so I spent about $50 for this campaign. I end up driving 360 link clicks to my website and 141 total conversions. So I'm going to show you exactly how to set up conversion tracking first, because that's really where you need to start when you're running Facebook advertising. So if you get done with this video and you feel like you still need more information, or as you're watching this video, if you want some additional information about Facebook advertising, you can check out our Facebook ads tutorials playlist. So some of the ones at the bottom of the playlist here are Facebook ads targeting for 2019, Facebook ads, how to install your pixel and create custom conversions. I am going to go through that in this video. And then our Facebook ads retargeting tutorial. So I highly recommend using retargeting. If you want to get started with a campaign first, you might just want to get started with retargeting and then kind of move on to some of the other targeting options as well. Now, as we come back over here to Ads Manager, I'm going to go through some of those things in this video that I went through in some of those other videos. So what I'm going to do first is click on Create. So when we click on Create here, it's how we create a new campaign. And you can see there's a few different marketing objectives here. There's awareness, there's consideration, and there's conversion. So I generally run conversion campaigns. So whether you're trying to drive conversions for your website, purchases, leads, anything like that, you would just use this conversion option here. If you're running an e-commerce store, so a Shopify store, something like that, for example, you would click on catalog sales. So what you would do is upload your catalog to Facebook advertising. It's very easy to do that. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. Or you're going to do store traffic. So if you're trying to drive physical people to your store, you would do that as well. So if you just scroll over here, you can see these for all these different options here. So get more people to install your app, engagement, get more post engagement, page likes, event responses or offer claims, so video views. I'm going to go through some of these other ones in follow-up tutorials. And then again, we are going to have a free Facebook advertising course published to YouTube. So you can kind of see a little bit of everything for how to run different campaigns for your business. Now for me, if I'm going to be spending money for my business and I'm trying to drive anything, it's going to be conversions. I have run some page like campaigns as well, so that would be under engagement here. I'll go through some examples of that as well, and you can find some examples on our Facebook ads tutorials playlist as well on YouTube. So what you want to do first is you want to create a conversions campaign, but you need to set up conversions on your website. So if we come up here and we click on the drop down menu, you can see there's a ton of different options here. So they have plan, create and manage, measure and report, assets, and settings. So settings is where you would set up your billing, your business settings, and any settings for your ads manager. Assets, so I like to use assets to create audiences. I will upload images. So catalog, so this is where you would actually upload your physical store catalog. So if you're running a Shopify website, this is where you would do it. If you have a physical business location, this is where you do that here. They have brand safety block lists, and they have videos. And again, one of the best things about Facebook advertising is you can see as I'm scrolling over everything here, it'll give you to hover to learn more about any link. So even if you hover over brand safety, you can see create block lists, see where ads could appear, and view delivery reports for audience network, instant article, and in-stream video placements. So if you're not familiar with any of these different options here, you can just scroll over them and kind of learn a little bit more about it. And then a lot of these links you might not even use. So for example, app dashboard, app ads helper. If you don't have a mobile app, none of this will really apply to your business. Catalog, so this doesn't apply to Surfside PPC at all because I don't really have inventory with Surfside PPC. Now, if I was selling a bunch of different courses or anything like that, I would upload them here through catalogs, and I would probably have some type of e-commerce website that would sell my different courses, or I would try to integrate a CRM where people could buy my courses from me and I can learn more about all the different people that are purchasing my courses. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I prefer to just create tutorials and give away this information for free because I like to just publish things directly to YouTube and just give you the information. My whole goal is to educate people about marketing and advertising. So there's nothing for me to sell here. So for me, the best way to grow my business for Surfside PPC is to increase the people on my email list. So what I want to do here is first we're going to come over to Events Manager and we're going to click on Pixels. So what you want to do first is install your Facebook pixel on your website, and you want to make sure that you're able to measure custom conversions with your pixel. So we're going to click on Pixels here. We're going to click on Leave this page. So we're going to stop creating this campaign for now. We're going to come over to Facebook Pixels. So you definitely want to do this first. And this is where you can either install the pixel on your website. Again, we have an entire tutorial about a little bit more about how to do this, but I'm still going to go over it in this video. This is where you want to install the pixel here. Otherwise, what you want to do is click on Partner Integrations. And I've recently used partner integrations for a WooCommerce website. So you can see right here, there's a green dot here. So if I click on See Details, all you need to do is go through all their different prompts here. It's a very simple process to get any of these partners integrated with your website. So what you can do, let's just say you're running a big commerce website. You click on See Details here. And if you click on Connect Account, all it's going to do is give you the prompt step by step for how to connect your account to any of these different partners here. So if we look at all the different partners, it's basically all the main website providers and then some different platforms. You could see CRM and marketing software, tag management, mobile platforms. So there's a lot of different options here. It makes it really easy to set up the Facebook pixel on your website. So all you would do is go through any of these different partner integrations. So even WordPress, you could do it right here. Google Tag Manager, so you could just go through Google Tag Manager right here. So it's a really simple process to get the pixel added to your website. This is the first thing you want to do. So once you set up partner integrations, it allows you to set up events and you can set up custom conversions very easily for any of your businesses. So what I'm going to do is show you how to install your Facebook pixel using Google Tag Manager. So what we can do is click on data sources over here. You can see we have our Surfside PPC pixel already. It is already installed on our website, so we don't really need to do it. But what we're going to do is click on Set Up over here and we can click on Install Pixel. Now, if you use one of the partner integrations, you can do Set Up New Events, and it will automatically import any of the events that you can use. So for example, for an e-commerce provider, you can import things like add to cart, you can import things like anytime someone adds a payment method, or you can import things like purchases and conversion value. So all that's really important, especially as you're running conversion campaigns. But what I'm going to do here is click on Install Pixel, and you can see you can connect a partner platform here. So this is the preferred method way of doing it, is just to connect a partner platform. If you don't have a partner platform here, the best way to do it is to use Google Tag Manager. So you install Google Tag Manager on your website, and that's the way to manage all of the tags, all of the pixels for your website. So we can click on manually install the pixel code yourself. Now the other option is to email instructions to a developer. So a developer, if they're working on your website, you can just have them install it for you. If you're just working on your own business, what you want to do is manually install the pixel code yourself. So if you don't have a partner platform that you can connect it to, you can see right here, locate the header code for your website. So it's going to be in between these two head tags. So the opening and closing head tags, you want to insert your pixel code between those two tags. So what we're going to do is take this here, we just copied the code. So after we copy the code, all we want to do is come over here to Google Tag Manager. So we open up Google Tag Manager for Surfside PPC. So it's really easy to create a Tag Manager account. Go to tagmanager.google.com. And what it's going to do is allow you to create a Tag Manager account just like you would Google Analytics, just like you would Google Search Console, any of these free tools that are offered by Google. And Tag Manager allows you to manage every single tag and pixel on your website. So whether you're trying to measure conversions for LinkedIn advertising, for Google ads, whether it's for Facebook ads, any of these different options that you have here, you can use Google Tag Manager. And if we click on add a new tag here, so the first thing you need to do is install Google Tag Manager on your website. Regardless of the website platform you're using, they usually have integrations with Tag Manager. Even with Facebook, you can easily install the Facebook pixel and just use the partner integration for Tag Manager. But what I'm going to do is show you how to do it manually. So if we come over here to new tag, we click on add a new tag. You can click up here, so we can just name it Facebook pixel. Next is going to be tag configuration. So for Facebook, they don't actually have an option here. So if you click on Facebook, there's nothing there. So what you want to do is scroll down a little bit and just click on custom HTML here. So it's going to be custom HTML tag, and we're going to copy and paste our Facebook pixel code right into custom HTML. And what we're going to do next is choose a trigger to make this tag fire. So for the trigger, it's going to be all pages. So for every single page view on our website, we're going to trigger the tag to fire to measure everything that's happening on our website. So the tag is used to allow you to measure conversions on your website, and also to help you create audiences through Facebook. So you can create retargeting audiences. We went over that a little bit more in one of our other tutorials, but now that we have our tag added to our website, we can click on save. So if you have Google Tag Manager installed, all you need to do is click on custom HTML, add your tag, and it's that simple. So now what we're going to do is come back over here to Facebook, and we have our Facebook pixel now added to our website. Again, use the partner integrations feature here. It makes it a lot easier. And the next thing you want to do is create a custom conversion. So let's say for my conversion, I want every time someone visits the confirm page on my website. So if we come over to Surfside PPC here, I'm going to open the page where I'll be sending traffic to it. So it's my surfsideppc.com/newsletter page. Whenever I do send traffic to this web page, I do remove the advertisement at the top of it. For right now, I'm not sending any traffic to this page, so I'm just going to leave it there for now. So you can see here, it says sign up for our newsletter for our free video and ebook. So let's say someone signs up for our newsletter. Okay, so they enter their first name. So I'm just going to put sample sign up and email address. So sample123@gmail.com. When they click on sign up now, what's going to happen is they're going to be redirected to a page that says confirm. So you can see right at the top here, surfsideppc.com/confirm. So it's going to say, please confirm your email address. Thank you for signing up. We will send our ebook and video to you for free once you confirm your email address. So if I take this page right here, confirm, I copy this right here, come back over, I'm creating a custom conversion using my Surfside PPC pixel. So what we just added to our website, that's going to be measuring the conversion on our website. So it's going to be the URL that contains confirm. So that's all we need to put there. You don't need to put any of the backslashes or anything like that. You can also do URL equals, and I can take this URL and copy it and come back over here and just paste it. So I could just do URL equals surfsideppc.com/confirm. And then you can do add another rule here if you want. So you can do and also must match. So if you want to do multiple things on your website, you can do that as well. Now, since confirm is only used on one page on my website and it's that /confirm page, what I'm going to do is URL contains and just put confirm. So it's that simple. So now anytime someone visits this page, this means that they signed up for my newsletter. So we come back over here to Facebook Pixel and we can see anybody who visits this page, we want to count as a conversion. I'm going to name it as a conversion here. So I'm going to do sample conversion for video. Category, so you have a bunch of different categories here. So like I said before, add to cart, add payment info, you can use any of these different categories here. So if you do purchase, you can do a conversion value. Now, if you're using one of the partner integrations, they'll actually import all of the purchase value for you. So I wouldn't recommend setting up custom conversions this way if you're using something like Shopify. So what I'm gonna do is come back over here. I'm gonna count it as a lead. So I can use a conversion value here. Let's say every lead is worth $10 for my business. Then that would allow me to track my return on ad spend. So I'm not going to set a value here. I just want every single lead to count basically as one single lead. So anytime someone visits this confirm page, I want it to count as a lead for my business. I'm going to click on create. So now I have a custom conversion created. So you can see I have sample conversion for video is the name of this conversion. So we come over here. If I click on custom conversions, you can see I have a few different conversions here. So this is one I created in a past tutorial. You can create up to 100 custom conversions here. And again, don't worry if you're trying to import something for e-commerce and you're a little worried about doing it. If you use partner integrations, they will allow you to create any type of custom conversion you want and import that conversion value. So it makes it very easy to use that if you're interested in using it for a different website platform. So for this one specifically, it's going to be anytime someone visits that confirm page, I want it to count as one conversion on my website. So what we're going to do now is come back over here and you have two different options now. You can either create your audiences through the audiences here, which is what I recommend doing. But what I'm going to do is just come over to Ads Manager and we're going to go through a campaign so I can show you how to create a Facebook advertising campaign for your business. So we click on Ads Manager. So what I'm going to do here is click on create and I'm going to try to go through a bunch of different things. So it's not just geared towards Surfside PPC. So you can apply any of these different ideas to your own business. So with our marketing objective, since we just installed the Facebook Pixel and we added the custom conversion in our Facebook ads account, we can click on conversion and we're going to optimize for conversions here. So for campaign name, I'm going to do sample campaign for video. So you have two different options as you're setting it up. You can either do a create split test. So you A/B test your creative, placement, audience, and delivery optimization strategies. Personally, I just like to use campaign budget optimization. So I'll just click on that right here. So what that's going to do is optimize my budget across all the different ad sets I create. So under campaign budget here, you could either use a daily budget. So let's just say you want to spend $10 a day, $50 a day, whatever your budget is. Or what you can do is use a lifetime budget. So if I want to use a lifetime budget, what I'll do is I'll say, okay, I want to spend $200 lifetime for this campaign. And with my campaign bid strategy, I'm going to be using lowest cost. So you can either do bid cap, so control your bid in each individual auction. Lowest cost is going to try to get you the most conversions within your budget. Or you could try to target a specific cost per result. I like to just use lowest cost because what that means is Facebook is automatically going to optimize my budget to drive the most conversions possible within my lifetime budget. So that's kind of the ideal scenario for you. I like to give Facebook just the opportunity to optimize my own campaigns because they have so much data about my campaigns as you start running them. As you start driving conversions, Facebook is going to understand what audiences are responding to your campaign and which people on Facebook are the most likely to convert through your campaign. So I like to just use campaign budget, use a lifetime budget if you want to. I think that's the best way to kind of manage your budget across a period of time. You can always increase your lifetime budget over time if you're seeing good results. And then campaign bid strategy, I just use lowest cost. So Facebook can get me the most possible conversions within my lifetime budget. So under advanced options here, so you can set an ad schedule. So I like to just run ads all the time. You can run ads on a specific schedule. So if you only receive phone calls during 9 to 5, if you only really respond to different leads during 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, you can run ads on a specific schedule and make sure you're just targeting people when you're actually active at your business. If you just want to run ads all the time, you can do that as well. Now, delivery type, there's either standard or accelerated. I just always keep this as standard, and I usually just use run ads all the time. I've only ran them on a schedule if I'm running advertisements for a local business. So we're going to click run ads all the time here, just keep it as is and click on continue. So you can see over here to the left-hand side, we have our campaign starting to be set up. The first thing we need to do is create our ad set. So our ad set is where you set up your conversion. If you have any offer, you can set up your offer here. We set up our targeting. So here it's saying audience. You can set up your placements. So where you want to run your advertisements, and then budget and schedule. After that, I'm going to show you how to create advertisements as well. So what we're going to do now is set up our first ad set. So we'll do sample ad set 1. Under conversion, so we just create a new conversion, so we want to make sure we get rid of this one. We want to do sample conversion for video. So it's going to show red because of no activity yet. Once you start getting some activity on your conversion, that will change to green. Now, if we come over here and we click on select a conversion event, you can see there's some different options down here. These are the standard events offered from Facebook. So add to cart, if someone searches on your website, if someone views a specific piece of content, if someone purchases something on your website, you can use these as well. I'm just going to use my sample conversion for video. So anytime someone visits a URL that contains confirm, that means they've signed up for my newsletter. And with this advertising campaign, I just want to get more people to sign up for my newsletter. So we're going to keep scrolling down here a little bit. So the next thing you want to do is set up dynamic creative. So you could see provide individual assets like images and headlines and automatically generate optimized creative combinations for your audience. So I'm going to be using dynamic creative here, and I'm going to show you how to do that when you're creating your advertisements. I highly recommend just creating dynamic creative because when you upload individual assets, Facebook is going to use dynamic ads for your advertisements to continue to serve the best variations of the advertisements that you upload. So when I click on continue here, you'll see that all makes sense as we continue to go and as we create our advertisements. All you need to do is upload something like 5 headlines, maybe 5 images, and then you can use different descriptions and things like that. And Facebook is going to serve the best possible variations based on the data that they have. Okay, so next is going to be audience. So I prefer to actually create my audiences up here through assets and audiences. So if you watch our Facebook ad targeting video, that will make a little bit more sense for all the different types of audiences you can create. For right now, I'm going to go through interest targeting a little bit. But if you create saved audiences, all you need to do is click on here, use a saved audience, and you can see some of the ones that we've created in the past. Under custom audiences, so these are going to be some of the audiences based on a customer file, people who have visited your website, people who have engaged with your page. So if we click here, it's going to say add a previously created custom or lookalike audience. So lookalike audiences, I'm going to create a separate video for, but essentially what they are is you can reach people who look alike one of your customer audiences. So they're also similar to what are known as similar audiences in Google Ads. So if you create a custom audience, like let's say page engagement for my Surfside PPC page over the last 90 days, I can create a lookalike audience. So Facebook is going to go out and find people who are very similar to the people who have engaged with my page over the last 90 days. So you use these source audiences and Facebook is able to expand them and create what are known as lookalike audiences. So it's going to be people that are very similar to the people in your custom audiences based on all the data that Facebook has about people's interests, locations, devices they use, all their Facebook activity, and some of the different pages they're interested in, some of the different web pages they visit. They can create lookalike audiences. So that's a really popular way to target. Again, I'm going to create a separate tutorial about that. With custom audiences, I went over that a little bit more in our targeting video, and I also went over how to create some different custom audiences in our retargeting ads tutorial. So for this specific tutorial, what I'm going to do is create a new interest audience right here and show you how to create some saved audiences as you're setting up your campaign. Now, as we're setting up our audiences, one of the best practices you can use is to create a custom audience for anybody who has actually converted on your website already. So then you can actually exclude them in your campaign. So you can either include people from a custom audience or you can exclude people. So I use this example of Google Ads course purchase. So I excluded anybody who purchased the Google Ads course from me. Now I'm not actually selling a Google Ads course, but I just use this as an example in my retargeting video. So what you can do is make sure that you're excluding people who are in this following category that have purchased your course from you already. So what I can do is create a custom audience here. So I'm going to click on create new, custom audience. So you can see right here, website traffic. I'm going to add people to my audience who have visited a specific web page and the URL contains confirm. So the same way we set up a custom conversion, we're going to say anybody who has visited our confirm page over the past 180 days, we don't want to target them with our advertisements anymore. So I'm going to do excluded audience sample. Click on create audience here. So now we have a new custom audience created. So what we can do right here is rather than excluding this or including this for our campaign, we're going to exclude it. So we're going to exclude our excluded audience sample, anybody who has visited the page confirm on our website over the past 180 days, because once you've already subscribed to our newsletter, we no longer want to target you in our audience. So now we want to scroll down a little bit. Next is locations. So a few different options. Everyone who is in this location, people who live in this location, people recently in this location, and people traveling in this location. So you can change this depending on who you're trying to target. If, for example, you're trying to target people who are traveling in a certain area, maybe over the summer on their summer vacation, and you have some type of attraction that you want them to visit, you can choose people who are traveling in a location near you and try to target them with advertisements to bring their family to your family attraction or something along those lines. People recently in this location, so maybe you're trying to target business travelers, so you're trying to say anybody who's recently been in a certain area, you want to target them with a specific offer for your products or services. People who live in this location, so that's a very popular one as well, so trying to reach people who are always in that local market. So if you own a restaurant, for example, you want to target people and you want to build kind of your local customer base, you could do people who live in this location. Otherwise, you can just do everyone in this location. So if I do everyone in the United States, it's just going to be anyone who is currently in the United States. So that's what I'm going to do for my audience for now. Now, the other thing we can do is if we click on browse, you can see you can target by specific countries here. You can target specific regions. So you can see there's like Euro area, emerging markets, app store regions, free trade areas. And then you can also use saved locations. So let's just say, for example, you usually target people in Boston. So we'll search Boston. And now you can see some of the different options you have. So you can do Boston, Massachusetts. You can do Boston, South Australia. So this is Australia. You can do a specific neighborhood that's named Boston. There's Dorchester, Massachusetts, which is called the neighborhood as well. So that's kind of a city, but it might just be a specific neighborhood in Dorchester. So if we scroll down, you can see Commonwealth, Charlestown. We keep scrolling down. You can also target the Boston, Manchester designated marketing area. So that's going to be a larger portion around Boston. So it's going to include Boston and up into New Hampshire. It's going to be the entire market. So that's one of the more popular ways to target as well. If you're trying to target a specific market of people, you can actually match it with your television advertising. So those are all some of the different options you have for targeting when it comes to Facebook advertising. The other thing you can do is, let's just say we scroll in here a little bit. You can also drop a pin. So let's just say I want to target Columbus, Ohio. Rather than typing it in, I can click on drop pin. I can select right here, and you can target a specific radius here from 1 mile to 50 miles around Columbus, Ohio. So there's just a different option that you have when you are targeting. So we're going to get rid of this for now, and we're just going to do United States. So again, you can target by radius, either 1 to 50 miles, or you can target by city, by neighborhood, by market. A lot of different options there. You can also add locations in bulk. I'll have a separate video with a little bit more detail about some of the different targeting that you can use in Facebook, kind of some different strategies you can use, even if you want to do geofencing, or if you're just trying to target people maybe in a specific 20-mile radius. But we're going to target United States for this video example for right now. So next are age, gender, and languages, all pretty straightforward. So age is you can go from 13 to 65 plus. So you can't go actually above 65 plus once it comes to targeting. So you can't do, something like 70 to 80. It just all gets put into one category of 65 plus. Gender, you can do all men or women. I'm just going to keep these as 18 to 65 plus, and gender, I'm just going to use all. So for languages, it's going to be the languages that your customers speak. So if, for example, you're trying to target people who speak English and Spanish, you can enter them both here. I generally just enter English because all my content and everything is in English. So I just want to make sure that people who are seeing my content also speak English, even if they speak other languages as well. So right now I have 18 to 65 plus, gender I'm using all, and languages I'm just going to use English and all. So we scroll down here, and this is where you start to include some different options when it comes to Facebook targeting. Now, a few different things at the bottom here. So they have expand interests when it may increase conversions at a lower cost per conversion. I usually just click this to expand interests because it'll reach other people that might not be in my targeted audience that Facebook thinks might also increase your conversions. Now, the other thing is connections. So you can add a connection type. You can do people who like your page, friends of people who like your page, or you could exclude people who like your page. There's also apps and events here, so same exact options there. So apps, it's going to be friends of people who have used your app, and events, you could do people who responded to your event. I've used a few of these in the past before. So with Facebook pages, I've targeted friends of people who like my page, which can really expand your targeting as well. Now let's just say I don't want to reach anybody who already likes my page, so I just want to exclude them. I'm going to add my page here, so I would just put Surfside PPC. So what that's going to do is exclude anyone from my campaign that already likes the Surfside PPC page. Okay, so now we get into detailed targeting. The first thing you can do is if you already have a little bit of data with Facebook, is just click on suggestions, and they're going to pull some of the top interests and behaviors that are related to your business. So for Surfside PPC, I get passive income, small business owners, business opportunity, home business, small business. So all pretty similar to the types of content I create. The other thing I can do is I can start searching here. So I can do something like Google AdWords, click on enter, and you can see AdWords is going to be one of the interests. And then as I add AdWords, I can click on suggestions here, and you can see search engine marketing, Google Analytics, online advertising. So I can start adding some of these different audiences to my campaign. So since I'm targeting for my newsletter and I do create a lot of content around these topics, I can target some of these different options here. So I'm going to use this for right now. The other thing you can do is click on browse here, and they have behaviors. So you can see all these different options here for behaviors. Again, I've gone over ad targeting a little bit in another video. There's so many different options with Facebook that I could probably create a 5-hour video going all the different options you can target. So behaviors, you can do anniversary. Under consumer classification, you can see there's different countries here. So if you click on Turkey, for example, it's going to say people who prefer high value goods, people who prefer mid and high value goods in Turkey. So all these different options that you can use for behaviors. There's digital activities, so operating system, Canvas gaming, console gamers, Facebook payments users. If we come down here a little bit more, there's more categories. So you can see interested in upcoming events, marketing API developers. So there's so many different options here when it comes to targeting. The main thing I do is I'll make sure I search things in here. So maybe, for example, I want to find some different audiences related to farmhouse decor. So I have my website, farmhousegoals.com. So I'm going to reach people who have interested in farmhouse decor, things like that. So I can click on just search farmhouse here and see what comes up. So you can see I have farmhouse and farmhouse kitchen. So two different audiences that I can use. So if I click on farmhouse here and then I start to click on suggestions, it might give me some different options. So country living, you could see fixer upper, southern living. Obviously there's a little bit of a mix of interests and behaviors here because of I have a lot of different additional interests. You don't really want to mix and match them like this, but I'm just giving you a few different examples that you have. Now, as you start searching different things here, if you can't find things related to your business, what I would highly recommend doing is going through browse, going through interests here, and just trying to find the closest possible interest to your business. You can also use demographics, so some of these different options here. So let's just say I come into fitness and wellness. I want to target people who have some level of interest in yoga. Once you click on something like this, even though the yoga audience is 313 million here, what you can do is click on suggestions, and you're going to start seeing some different options. Now, rather than targeting a huge audience, so I'm going to get rid of some of these for now. I'm just going to go through a quick little yoga example. So let's just say I want to target people who are interested in yoga, but I kind of want to narrow my audience a little bit. You can click on narrow audience here. So if we click on suggestions, it's going to give me my Surfside PPC suggestions. So what I generally do is I'll type in whatever I'm targeting up at the top here. So we do yoga, and now we click on suggestions, and it's going to have some of these different options here. So what I can do is I want to match people who are interested in yoga that also match at least one of these following. So let's just say I do mindfulness. We can go down a little bit and see some of these different options here. So you can see healing, self-healing. So some of these different options you can use, and then we can get rid of yoga here. and now we can click on suggestions again, and it's going to start to narrow down our audience a little bit. So we can come down, narrow further, and we can click on suggestions, still giving my Surfside PPC ones. But this is just one way to narrow down your audience. So if you really want to reach people who have kind of more of a niche group audience, rather than doing a huge, 313 million in the yoga audience is a huge audience. So you're going to reach people that don't absolutely love yoga. So you can make sure you're targeting people who like yoga, who like mindfulness, who like self-healing. So you can see self-healing right here is 1.8 million. So you can start to come down here and kind of narrow down your audience a little bit over time. So let's just say, for example, I use my Surfside PPC example. So we'll do Google AdWords. So I want to reach people who are interested in AdWords, and then narrow the audience and click on suggestions, and people that are also small business owners. So people must be interested in AdWords, and they must also be small business owners. And I can even narrow further one more time, click on suggestions, and let's just say I want to do people with an interest in small business, people with an interest in home business, and we'll do people with self-employment as an interest. So what it's saying now is people must be interested in AdWords, they must be small business owners, and they also must be interested in home business, self-employment, and small business. So I'm making sure I'm really reaching people who probably either own small businesses, who are also self-employed, who also maybe just work from home. So now I can use this as my audience here, and I'm going to use this for right now. Again, just go through all these different browse here and go through the interests, go through the demographics, go through the behaviors, use the search feature and try to find the best interests, behaviors, and demographics for your business. So we can scroll down here, and as you start getting more data in Facebook advertising and for your Facebook page in general, you should start to see some suggestions here as well. So if I open my beachfront decor page and click on suggestions, it's going to give me some options. So if I just search beach here, one of my options that mainly comes up is beach house. And then as I click that, I can narrow down my audience a little bit more with interests. And you want to target a variety of audiences. So I can target an audience that looks like this. I can target a separate lookalike audience. So if I come over here to include, I can create a new ad set, which I'll show you how to do that after I publish the campaign, and start targeting a lookalike audience. Usually I'll separate out my custom audiences, so I'll create separate retargeting campaigns, but you can include them in your campaign as well. So you have a lot of different options when you're creating campaigns, and the only way to know what works when it comes to targeting is to test. Now, one of the main questions I get is audience size here. So right now it's saying my detailed targeting criteria is currently set to allow interest expansion, and my potential reach is unavailable, probably because I have this excluded sample audience that's still building. So if I get rid of that sample audience real quick, you can see my potential reach is actually fewer than 1,000 people. So one of the things I can do is come over here, we'll get rid of this small business owner option. So what we're going to do is just target people who have an interest in AdWords and also match one of these. So now we're up to 220 million people. So our potential reach became much larger. So maybe now when we click on narrow further, we come over here, we click on suggestions, and we'll do small business owners here. So now we're at 4.4 million. So that's a good size audience for this campaign. I generally try to reach in between 100,000 and up. That's kind of the types of audience I create. I have created audiences for beachfront decor that were between 50 and 100,000. And what ends up happening is you don't actually have that many people to reach, but it really depends on your budget. If you have a huge budget, then you want to create large audiences. If let's say you're only spending $5 per day, you can do a potential reach of 50 to 100,000 for your audience size and see how much you're getting for your campaign, because you can always go back and expand your audience later. So right now my potential reach is 4.4 million people. I have people that are interested in AdWords, home business, self-employment, that are also small business owners. And if we come up to the top here, we can come back and exclude our audience. So we'll do our excluded audience sample here. So now what I like to do is scroll down to the bottom a little bit, and I want to click on save this audience. So now I have my Surfside PPC audience, United States, people with these interests, exclude people who have already converted, and we can click on save. Okay, so now we saved our audience here. Now we can use that in different campaigns as we continue to go. So as we come down here a little bit more, you can see we have our saved audience here. It's just called Surfside PPC, so I'll probably go back and rename that. So I scroll down a little bit. Okay, so if we come down here to placements, you can see we're going to choose automatic placements here, but what I want to do is click on edit placements to show you all the different places that your ads can run. So you can see right here, there's feeds, there's the Facebook feed, Instagram feed, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Suggested Videos, Facebook Right Column. If you scroll over all of them, you can see some example advertisements. If you don't ever connect your Instagram feed to your actual campaign, then it won't run on Instagram at all. So I'm not going to connect my Instagram feed. But if you just want to run your advertisements on Facebook, what you want to do is unselect some of these Instagram options here. So Instagram stories, Instagram feed. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to connect my Instagram page to this actual campaign, which I'll show you in the next step. But if we scroll down, you can see all these different options that you can actually target. So you can do specific mobile devices if you want to. There's the audience network here. So you have Facebook instant articles here as well. You have the Messenger inbox, Messenger sponsored messages, in-stream videos. So there's all these different options here. I just prefer to use automatic placements, but you can run your ads in just specific areas if you'd like to. So I'm going to click on automatic placements here, and you can see it's just recommended. So it says use automatic placements to maximize your budget and help show your ads to more people. So Facebook's delivery system will allocate your ad sets budget across multiple placements based on where they're likely to perform best. So Facebook is going to put your advertisements out to the places where they're the most likely to perform the best. So if we keep scrolling down here, we can see budget and schedule. So it's going to say optimization for ad delivery. I'm going to choose conversions here. You can do landing page views, and then there's other options here. So link clicks, impressions, and daily unique reach. I just like to use conversions. That's going to give you the best possible results for your campaign if you're trying to drive conversions at the lowest cost. If you're trying to reach unique people, you could just do daily unique reach, try to reach some unique people with your advertisements. That's kind of more popular with high budget campaigns and advertisers who are spending a ton on Facebook already. So landing page views you can do as well, but I like to just use conversions. So we're going to keep scrolling down. You can see it's going to say right here, my start date is in the past. So if you ever see that, just click on this little option here, reset your start date to today. So now it's going to show this. I might get an error one more time, but we could always just change that. Conversion window, I just leave as is. You can do 7 days click or 1 day view, 7 days click, 1 day click. So I'm just going to do 7 days click or 1 day view. So ads spend limits to a specific ad set. So if you're having it for a campaign, let's say for example, you're creating 4 ad sets and you want to spend $100 for each individual ad set and $400 total for your campaign, you can add spend limits by clicking this right here and just doing $100 for this individual ad set. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do any ad set spend limits. I'll show you why in a little bit. When you get charged, so we're going to be charged for each individual impression, and then we're going to have our ad scheduling, run ads all the time, and delivery type will be standard. So now we can click on continue and start creating our advertisements. Okay, so you'll see here, I'm not going to select my Instagram account at all. I'm just going to be running it for my Surfside PPC Facebook page. I'll have a separate tutorial out for Instagram advertising. So for our ad name here, I'm just going to do sample Facebook dynamic ad. So format, so you can see dynamic creative is enabled. Multiple ads will be automatically generated using your individual creative assets. So what we can do is use one image or video or a slideshow with multiple images. So if we scroll down here a little bit, you can take a tour with dynamic creative, how to create ads. It's a very simple process. So what I'm going to do here is upload some images. If you're not familiar with how to upload images with Facebook advertising or anything with Facebook ads, the main thing is you don't want to have overlay text on your image. So you can see to maximize ad delivery, use an image that contains little or no overlaid text. So it's going to say image recommendations, size is going to be 1080 by 1080, crop 1 by 1, file type a JPEG or a PNG. So you can either browse the library if you have images uploaded already or upload some new images. What you can do if you don't have images for your Facebook ads is go to a website like pixabay.com. So I'll put this in the video description. It's pixabay.com. Search whatever it is you're advertising here. So if you search advertising or marketing or something like that or growth, they're gonna give you a lot of different images that you can use for your Facebook ads. There's other websites like this, but this in my experience is the best one. So if we come back over here to Ads Manager, what I'm going to do is browse my library and look at some of the different images I've used in the past. So you can see I have some different images here. If we scroll down, I have image right here. I have a marketing strategy image. So we'll use this image right here, select a few more. So I'll use that one right there. We'll use this one right here, and maybe we'll just use this one. So now we're going to use 4 different images here. Click on continue. So we have them all uploaded. So now what I do next is I always click here for crop to make sure it's all cropped correctly. So you can see I have my square image just like that. Horizontal, I'm just going to leave like this. Click on apply changes. If you want to change any of them, you can. I'm just going to leave all of them as is because they should perform okay. Now this one right here, since it's a little bit higher, maybe with horizontal, I want to scroll up a little bit. So just simple like that. And you just want to make sure you have them all cropped properly for the different sizes that you're using. So if you click horizontal, if you click on square, click on apply changes, very simple process. So if we click over here, do the same exact thing. So we'll do it and just like that. Okay, so we'll scroll down a little bit here. So now the next thing we need to do is start entering some of our text. So for text, you have 5 options. So if you keep clicking on add, you can see we have 5 options here for text. We keep scrolling down. There's website URL. I'm going to show you how to do this in a second. Headline, so you have 5 options as well. So we're going to click on this again. So call to action, you can see right now is learn more. So what I'm going to do is we're going to change this. So if we scroll down a little bit, we could do subscribe or sign up. So what I'll do is subscribe. And then newsfeed link descriptions. You also have 5 options here too, but you need to enter your first one before you can continue to add those. So now we'll scroll back to the top here real quick. So now what I like to do first is enter my website URL here, but what I'm going to do is click on build a URL parameter. So what you can see here is going to show the website URL at the top. So we're going to send people directly to our newsletter page. Come back over here, enter this URL right there. For campaign source, so what we're going to do is Facebook. For campaign medium, what I'm going to do is banner. For campaign names, so what I'll do is sample Facebook campaign, and then campaign content. So rather than naming it here, what you can do is take it like that and just do campaign name. So that's one option. Campaign content, you can just do the ad set name. You can also add some additional options there. So if you click on add parameter, you can track each individual advertisement. I generally don't do that. I usually just track source, medium. I'll do campaign name. So this is going to dynamically take whatever the name of our campaign is, and it's going to put it into Google Analytics so we can track it. And then you could do campaign content here. So for that, I can do ad set name. So what I can do is click on apply. It's going to take that website URL just like that, enter it here. And now the reason I do that is if I come over to Google Analytics, what you can do is you could see under Surfside PPC, if I come to acquisition, campaigns, all campaigns, you can see a previous campaign I ran. So the Surfside PPC newsletter campaign 2019. And if we look at it, you can see there's 297 users, 188 goal completions. So that was people signing up for my newsletter. So if I click on this, it'll show me the source, Facebook, the medium, banner. And if I click on secondary dimension here, I can search content and you can see add content. So if we click on that, it's going to show me which ad set was driving the results for my business. So I have my home business audience and I have a business interest audience. So 2 different audiences I used for my other campaign that I was just running, the one I showed you in the beginning of the video. And now as we set up our new campaign, we can make sure we're tracking everything properly by just adding parameters to the end of our URL. So now what we need to do is enter text for our advertisement. So just so you know where everything shows up, so we'll do text example. Okay, so for text, I put text example here. You can see that's going to show up at the top of your advertisement. Next is going to be headline. So you can see headline example right here. So headline example is going to show right there. So all your headlines will be right here. Your text will be right here. And then last but not least, your newsfeed link description. So if we scroll down a little bit, you can see newsfeed link description example. It's cut off a little bit. Just so you know where all of this text actually shows up on your advertisements. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add all of my ad copy, but I'm actually going to fast forward to this part a little bit and then talk about it afterwards, just because it's going to take me a little while to import all this different ad copy. Okay, so we've added all of our ad copy here now. So you can see under here, you can see our text. So we have 5 out of 5 options for text. And the way these advertisements are going to work is Facebook is going to pick one of these images at the top here that we've selected. So we have all these different images up here at the top. Scroll down, they're going to pick one of these texts. They're going to use our website URL for every advertisement. So for headline, you can see it has 5 different headline options, and for newsfeed link description, it has 5 options there. So Facebook is going to mix and match all of this different ad copy, all of these images, and whatever continues to perform best for our campaign, Facebook is going to continue to serve to different customers. So that's why you want to use dynamic advertisements with Facebook. So if we just come up to the top here with text, I like to just do something quick, one sentence, so sign up for the Surfside PPC newsletter and get your free ebooks and videos. So a call to action, sign up for the Surfside PPC newsletter, and what people get out of it when they do that. Now this is going to vary. It really depends on what you're advertising. If you're promoting specific products, you might have some type of promotion that you're doing. If you are trying to sell something on an e-commerce website, you might just want to be kind of putting out a message for all the different types of products that you have for sale. So there's a lot of different options that you can use. Obviously, if you're using e-commerce, you want to make sure you have product images here so people can kind of get familiar with your product. Even if they don't purchase it right away, you can always use a retargeting campaign to try to retarget them with your advertisements. But for text, for me, this has worked pretty well for me. So discover how to grow your business with our free business marketing strategy. You never really know who you're going to reach with your text. So if it's someone who is trying to grow their own business, they see an advertisement like this, they might think it's worth signing up for my newsletter because I'm going to give them free marketing content for how to grow their business. So get our free video and ebook so you can kind of mix things around a little bit. So rather than doing get your free ebooks and videos, what I can do is put it at the front, grow your business, drive results for your business. Now, if we keep scrolling down, you can see headlines. So there's Surfside PPC newsletter, free marketing video and ebook, newsletter and free giveaway, dominate your competitors, and subscribe for free marketing content. So a few different options there. You can always kind of add another advertisement if you want. So you can create multiple dynamic advertisements and use completely different headlines, completely different descriptions, and Facebook is going to continue to serve your best performing advertisements. So by doing this, you only really need to upload one single advertisement and just include all this different ad copy. So newsfeed link description, we have grow your business, subscribe to the Surfside PPC newsletter, sign up for our Surfside PPC newsletter. So you have all these different options here. As we scroll down, you can see we're using our Surfside PPC pixel to track all of our conversions. We can keep scrolling down, and now next all we need to do is click on confirm, and it's going to launch our campaign. Okay, so you can see here multiple items published, one campaign, one ad set, and one ad were published. So you can see our campaign right here. So sample campaign for video. I'm just going to pause it for right now. I don't actually want this to run for now. I'm going to click on the campaign. It's going to open up our ad sets. If you click on your ad sets, it will open up your ads. So you kind of understand a little bit about how all that works. If we come back to our ad set here, what we can do is add additional targeting to our campaign. So if I take this ad set and I click on duplicate, it's going to duplicate this ad set into our original campaign. We're going to create one copy. You can create two copies if you want, and just continue to update the targeting in each individual ad set. So that's how you can kind of test some different targeting options and see what works best for your business. So if we take this, we're going to just create one duplicate. You can do this as many times as you really want to. Sometimes you might have to increase your budget depending on how many ad sets you want to test. But let's just say we'll scroll down here a little bit. So I can use a separate saved audience that I've already created in the past. So you can see I have a lookalike audience here. So I have an example audience for video. So I could just take that one, just update my targeting right here. You could also just do create new and create a completely new targeting set here. So use different interests if you want. So maybe I want to target people who have more of an interest in Facebook advertising rather than Google ads or something along those lines. Maybe I want to target people who are more YouTube creators, something like that. You just want to make sure you're targeting the best possible audiences, whatever your products and services are. There's a lot of different options here, so you can kind of mix and match different things. If we come back over here to saved audience, what I'll do is I'll click on use a saved audience. I'll just use my lookalike for video example. We're going to be targeting people in a few different locations now. So we can do this is a lookalike audience for people who like Surfside PPC, people who live in Canada, India, and the United States, 18 to 65. So that's all we need to do. We can change the name up here. So I'll just change the name to sample lookalike. So now you can see it changed over here. We have our first original ad set, our sample ad set 1. All we need to do is click on publish. And now we're going to have two separate ad sets for this campaign. And what Facebook is going to do is test these two different audiences against each other, these two different ad sets. And if I come over to the campaign that I previously ran, so we'll come over here to the campaign section and we click on our Surfside PPC newsletter campaign for 2019, you can see we got the best possible results from our home business audience and our business interest audience. So the same thing I showed you, if I come back over here to Google Analytics, you could see home business audience and business interests. So we come back over to Ads Manager. So I also did a website traffic lookalike audience. So people who were visiting our website what we did was we took that retargeting audience and we created a lookalike off of it. So that one actually didn't perform as well, but lookalike audiences usually perform pretty well, but these ones probably were just performing better. So Facebook would rather target these two audiences because they're going to give us the lowest cost conversions for our campaign. So now what you can see is if we scroll over here a little bit, if you click on columns, you can see performance. So it's going to show how much we spent, what our results were, so how many conversions we got for our server-side PPC conversion, our unique reach, so how many people we actually reach with our campaign, impressions, so the total number of impressions with our campaign, the schedule we are running on, you can see link clicks, so how many times people actually click through to our website, and then website purchases, so if you actually have purchases set up on your website. So what I could actually do is kind of optimize for something like my server-side PPC conversion, and then I can also track how many times people visited my website and maybe purchased a course from me or purchased an ebook or something like that if I had an additional conversion. So you can track multiple conversions, you can create different custom conversions and see which ones people actually take advantage of the most. If you're running an e-commerce website, you really just want to be focused on purchases. So that's kind of what you want to do, is focus on your purchases here. So if we come over here, we could see delivery. So that's going to show how many impressions, our total frequency, our cost per 1,000 people reached. So really what you want is the lowest possible CPM, because that means you're able to reach a lot of people and get a lot of different impressions for a very low cost. So if we keep coming down to columns, we go to engagement. You can see how many link clicks, how many post shares, how many times people saved a post, total reactions to our post, our cost per click. There's effect share over here, so there's nothing for that one. You can see video engagement, app engagement. If you're using carousel ads, you can see engagement for that. There's performance and clicks, targeting and creative, messaging engagement, and then bidding and optimization. So there's a lot of different options when you're kind of looking at all these different columns here and seeing what performs the best for your individual campaign. So that's pretty much our Facebook ads tutorial. This is a pretty simple tutorial for how to set up a campaign. And what you want to do is make sure you first come into your ads manager account, make sure you set up your Facebook pixel or offline events or app events, and use partner integration. So if you're using an e-commerce provider, you want to make sure you just use that partner integration for Facebook. Otherwise, add the pixel to your website like I showed you with Google Tag Manager. And then you want to make sure you have custom conversions set up, so you're able to track different conversions on your website. Or you can use some of the partner integrations here so you can actually track customer purchases, things along those lines, and make sure you're optimizing for those individual conversions based on whatever website you are targeting for. And then what I generally do is I'll come to assets and audiences and create some different audiences. Sometimes I'll just upload images here. And then what you can do is, as you start creating your campaign, optimize for conversions, use some of that dynamic creative, and just continue to optimize your campaign by adding new ads to your campaign, testing different targeting and different ad sets. So what I do first is I'll come here. So I have my sample campaign for video. I will come into my ad set, like sample ad set 1, and I'll create a new advertisement here. And then you'll have two different dynamic ads in your one ad set. So you can come over here to ad sets and then duplicate that ad set. And then you'll have both of those ads in each ad set that you duplicate. Just update the targeting a little bit, try lookalike audiences, try retargeting audiences, try just basic interest or behavior or demographic audiences. Play around with all the different targeting that you can. It's really going to vary based on what products and services you're offering. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. This is our Facebook ads tutorial for 2019 and beyond. So thanks for watching our video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.